Hello guys, this is Blade bringing you another YouTube video, this time featuring Zerg Versus Terran, and this is going to go over, like my last video, it's going to be a little bit different than my normal videos where I go through a whole game from the beginning to the end. This is going to feature a few different games versus various Terran openings and how to react and deal with it, and then kind of transitioning and timings. So this one is, I believe, a Reaper expand. And I'm going to kind of showcase, again, what I feel is the best way to react to it and why. So I'm just going to start at 2 minutes, because again, I'm not going through the whole game. And scouting for proxies, the usual. So this drone's just kind of scouting around. He's going to see this gas and the racks, which showcases Reaper. And I like the 10 pool, or not 10 pool. I like the 10 drone scout to look for proxies, and then also just because if I see he's going gas, I go gas before pool, so I do 16 gas, then 16 pool. In my opinion, I think that going speedling is the best reaction to almost any Terran gas opening. I feel Zergs that don't, it just feels like they kind of harder to do stuff. It's a lot harder to regain map control. It's kind of harder to take that third, or if they do take that third super early, somehow before, they can't drone it because they can't defend it until later. And so in my opinion, and I know most Zergs agree with this, you should always go gas and get speedlings as fast as possible. Even if he doesn't open Reaper, the fact that he goes gas, he can do various things, and I'll be going over as many as I can that I can find in my replays. So as you can see, I went gas before pool, and this is the Reaper coming along, you know, the usual. And now most Reapers will hit your base before your lings are out. It's just how it kind of works out, unless you go like 14 pull after 15 hatch, but that's not worth it. You'll kind of notice the first thing I do is double queen is what you're supposed to do, then you're supposed to make lings. I think I didn't make the second. Anyway, so kind of want to go over this. I made an extractor. This is because, again, I don't have any lings out, so his Reaper can do free damage. This drone was probably 1 or 2 shots away, so I made it an extractor. This drone should be a spore crawler. I might make a mistake, I can't remember. Let's see. Yep, so that becomes a spore crawler. And this drone dies because I don't think I had the money for a spore crawler. And then the lings are out. Once the lings come out, this kind of becomes a lot easier to defend, and you shouldn't lose any drones. If you react properly by placing a spore crawler or gas, you shouldn't lose. If you lose a drone, it should only be like 1 drone. You shouldn't lose any more. And this is pretty standard. And as you can see, I just have the queens. I got my gas on the way. I'm just kind of using the queen to scare it off. I make some lings because once speed catches up, I'll just crush these. Now to kind of go over a weakness to the Reaper strategy that a lot of players may not realize. Unless the Terran player is planning some sort of 2-base attack, or even if then, when they open Reapers, they have no anti-air. Obviously in this game I don't do this because of I already see the 3rd CC and I see the racks because he lets it all in his gas vision. But if I hadn't seen that, I would have sent my Overlord. Oh, there it is. I would have sent this Overlord and sent it in here and put it here, and it would have gotten out safely. Because as you'll notice, he still has no anti-air. He doesn't have a single Marine. So you get, this is a good thing to do with an Overlord if your extractor doesn't see it, because if you see 3cc, you know he can't really do any huge 2-base timing at a fast time. And obviously this is very standard to go into Hellion Reaper as soon as speed finishes. And that's really about it for this one, I believe. Just kind of showcasing a few of those. And the transitioning is really up to you as the Zerg player. You should take a third at like 6:30, 6:45. You don't want to take it much later. And what I personally do is I get a roach warren, and I get some roaches out for this Hellion Reaper so I don't have to make so many lings, and then I double upgrade after I start my lair. That's kind of a new thing I've started doing, and I'm finding it most effective. I just prefer the roaches because making so many lings is so larva inefficient, and with proper Hellion Reaper control, you'll just keep losing the lings, and it just becomes a huge pain. And so now I'm going to showcase another opening. Might be a hellbat drop, or it'll be some sort of hellion play. It'll be kind of something else. So with the next part, alright, this part's going to showcase a similar looking opening with the refinery and the barracks. So this most Zergs will think this is Reaper, and I thought it was Reaper this game too. But it doesn't take very long for you as the Zerg player to realize he's obviously not doing Reaper when you don't see a Reaper at your base at a certain time, especially when he scouts you. So I'm going to go through this. What he does this game is he's going to go a gas first, which can mean three things. It can mean a refinery build, like hellbat drops or fast hellions, or it's Reaper. I mean, it could technically also be some sort of fast banshee, but that's not very good nowadays, and I can't remember the last time I saw that. But in this game, he's going to do a bit of a refinery build, although I think he messed up his gas timing a little bit, but that's fine. It still goes to my point. I scouted the gas, and you want to do the same thing as you did versus Reaper, because as of right now, I think this is Reaper, and there's no way you can know this until after this comes out. So, getting my gas before pool, and going for speedlings again. And this is actually the best response, even versus a reactor factory opening. And the reason that is because this one base, this is a very old school build. If anyone played Wings of Liberty in the beginning phases, Terrans used to go fast reactor hellion before anything else, before expansion. And if you go the 4 gasless queen style, it is possible that hellions can run by and kind of do damage to your drones. So when you get speed, it works better. It makes it easier to kind of stop this push, or stop it, because if he runs in with 4 hellions, you should have speedlings and you just kill him, and then you're super far ahead. I mean, you're kind of super far ahead in anyway, because this build isn't very good economically unless he kills drones. But since I'm going to have speedlings, he doesn't kill any drones, and I'm pretty far ahead. So obviously by this point you should know that the Terran did not open he didn't open Reaper, obviously, and I know this. So there's going to be the 2 most common things are going to be Widow Mines, which he's not doing, and the next common thing is going to be Hellbats. These are 2 units that if you're, well, one, if you're not paying attention, Widow Mines can just destroy your mineral line, and Hellbats, even if you are paying attention, can still kill your drones just because of the medevac speed boost. But there are ways to kind of mitigate the damage as best as possible, but honestly, if the Terran knows what he's doing, you're never going to be able to kind of just safely, unless you have Mutalists out, you're never going to be able to just not have any drone kills. A good Terran should be saving his speed boost with his medevac, so that once you pull your drones, he just speed boosts and kills the drones anyway. At least some of them. So the best thing you should do is not to grab them all and send them to your natural or something. It's to put a spine and a spore in your base, in both bases. Have your queens together so you can snipe the medevac, and just spread your drones as fast as possible. That's the best reaction, because if you grab them all, pull them to the natural, you might as well GG, because he's going to speed boost and he's going to kill them all. That's what makes hellbat drops so strong, is that medevac boost. Because even with the best reaction, it can still get there while your drones are still running away. As you can see, but to get off the sidetrack I was on, making speedlings, I see he's making hellions. I mean, he's made 6, right? Yeah, 6 hellions. I'm sacrificing an overlord, and I'm going to see stim, no 3rd CC, so this means he's obviously going to do some sort of pressure, which means you're going to want to be ready for the attack. That has to do damage or he's behind. And if he runs by here, which he looks like he's going to, but then these speedlings kind of stop him, because you don't want to engage this on creep. Speedlings, I believe, are faster than hellions on creep. Yeah, they are. And with 2 queens, it would just be suicidal. So he's got to retain his map control. And what this point goes on for really is just have these queens defend. And I do lose these lings, but that's fine because I have a roach horn on the way. Like I said, I always go roaches versus hellion play, at least 4 to 6. I feel it's better than mass ling, because I feel if the Terran's good, these should do a lot of damage and keep map control. But as you can see, it's just not really much there. It was just kind of the same thing as the last game, speedlings, except you keep them on your creep. the 2 queens here and then 2 for injects, and just kind of goes into a standard game from here. Except he actually does a 2-base marine tank push that gets crushed. But that's kind of how you want to react. Even to hellbats, you kind of want to react the same way with the speedlings, except you want to make sure you have your queens together and a spine and a spore. And I'm going to try to showcase a game of that next. Alright guys, now for the thing that probably a lot of Zergs are curious about and are looking forward to is the hellbat drop. Now in this game I actually saw this coming because I sacrificed an overlord and saw hellbats and the starport, which means he's hellbat dropping. And honestly, this game is actually a really awful game after the early game because I just played as bad. I should have overlords here so I can see this coming anyway, but I don't. But I knew this was coming because I scouted it. All right. So the first thing you'll notice is I have a spore here. I have a spore and a spine being made here, and I think I neglect this, which is a mistake. So, with the hellbat drops, since I know it's coming, I grabbed these 2 queens and brought them over here. Brought the spore crawler. The spine I should move here, but I don't think I do. Let's just kind of show you how to react. So this is a double hellbat drop. This is extremely popular on the Korean server. And so I've gotten kind of good at defending it, but it still can do damage, and I believe it still does damage no matter how good you react. It will do damage eventually, until mutas are out. It's just really hard not to take some sort of damage to these because it's just so strong. Obviously I shut it down here. I move the spine here, which is good. Makes it a little bit easier to get rid of it if your units are out of position. Bringing my queens over here, getting the spore crawler here. I don't think I make a spine here, which is a mistake. And I can see the hellbat drops, and he's activated his speed boosters, but he can't really run in here. Well, he could, but he'll lose his medevac, and he doesn't want to do that. And I have roaches out now. And for those curious, this was off our one racks expand. And right now, this is just the best way to defend this. Spine, spore, and you can see I keep moving my queens. I know his medevacs are here. I haven't seen them leave yet. I'm just kind of waiting for him to lose his patience and go in. And I want to say he does, but I don't remember. I think he does damage, but in general, this is the best way you want to react. So you want to have queens to focus the medevacs, spine and spore. This is the only base that doesn't have a spine. And got my baneling nest coming, and I'm just kind of looking for these drops. I can't remember when he moves out with them again. Oh yeah, then he does a quadruple one, and as I said, it does damage no matter what eventually. You just gotta react. And he killed 9 workers there. Actually, it's more like 6, I think, but still, that did do a good amount of damage. And he didn't lose a medevac or the hellbats. He lost 1 hellbat. That's just because, and I thought these were the same 2, I believe, so I think these 2 even do damage. So yeah, he goes into the natural, and this is why the spore's nice. You can kind of get rid of that. And he's got the Viking, which he should have had earlier. And I kind of deal with this, and I've lost 12 drones, which isn't too bad considering normally these do even a lot more damage than that. And this is just kind of the way to defend it. You just have to have queens. I prefer roaches than lings because speedlings get crushed by them. And a spine and spore in each base. That's the best way to kind of react with this. And you should transition into a standard game. And honestly, if you can defend this and only lose 12 workers, you're in a fantastic position. Well, actually, probably not fantastic, but you're in a pretty good position. Considering this normally does a lot more damage. Like right here, I believe he kills all these workers. Never mind, I lied. And yeah, like I said, this isn't the best game to go by, or the supplies, you're probably like, wow, you're really behind. It is, because I played this game like really bad. I just wanted to but I did defend versus the hellbat drops really well, which is why I did this game. After this point, yeah. If you saw my stream, you would see how bad this game was. But yeah, then you just kind of go to a normal standard game. When you recognize you're getting hellbat dropped, you want to make sure you have your queens together so you can try to snipe the medevacs. These are your main concern. You snipe the medevacs, you kill the hellbats. That threat's kind of eliminated. Most players don't really do this heavy, at least not on NA server that I've played, but hellbat drops are becoming popular again because people are realizing that the nerf really wasn't that bad. You just make an extra medevac and it's still going to do damage. And that's about really all about openings I can think of for ZVT. If you guys have any questions, feel free to post in the thread, and if you have any requests, I would highly recommend going to the link in my this YouTube video and requesting, because I could use suggestions that I may not be thinking of. This is, like I said, I'll do requests. Would prefer it if someone would tell me what, or if people would kind of ask what they want, then I can do it. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep doing random videos like this, and I'm not sure what my next one's going to be about. But if you want to know when it's going to come out or anything, I recommend following me on Twitter at Blade555. And if you want to watch me stream, where all these replays are pretty much shown from, live, and I answer questions, commentate, Twitch TV, Blade55555. And thanks for watching, guys. Peace.